The top stories tonight in Y News. House Deputy Majority Leader confirms that the House of Representatives is studying the salary hike measure proposed in Congress. The Philippine National Police Intelligence Group and Criminal Investigation and Detection Group successfully apprehends a key figure believed to be a financial conduit for the Islamic State for Iraq and Syria, or ISIS, in the country. A senator formally asked Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri to approve the subpoena against religious leader Apollo Quiboloy. And we'll discover more on the recent shooting incident at an outdoor victory rally of Chief Super Bowl in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, that killed a person and injured 21. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, February 15, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harding Delgado. First in the news. The continued slowdown of inflation, or the rate of increase in prices of goods and services in the country, has been recorded. Despite this, according to an economist, there is still no certainty whether the decline in inflation will continue because the threat of price increases for goods remains. Nel Maribohok reports.
The effect of the El Nino phenomenon in the country, or the severe drought, is still being closely monitored. According to economist Michael Ricafort, this could have an effect on agricultural production, which could lead to increases in prices of goods, particularly rice.
Yung El Nino din, siyempre, yung sa bigas, no? Yun din tinitingnan mabuti kasi ang second quarter yan, mga May, no? Based sa pag-asa. So, ano ba yan? Ang risk diyan, magkakaroon ba ng severe form of El Nino parang noong late 1990s o hindi? Kasi ang implikasyon yan, kung medyo bawas yung rainfall, bawas din yung ani.
Ricafort explained that rice is one of the major contributors to inflation at present. In addition to El Nino, the threat of geopolitical tensions or ongoing conflicts in other countries, such as the Russia-Ukraine conflict and turmoil in the Middle East, may still affect the supply of petroleum products. But for now, according to Ricafort, oil prices in the country are still manageable.
So far, relatively stable naman yung langis, no? Still among the lowest in 2 years. Na-manage naman mabuti diplomatically, tsaka yung mga central banks yung trabaho. Kaya yung nagtaas silang interest rates, yung demand, minak.
An employers group is also concerned about the possible effects on inflation of the proposed wage hike or increase in workers' salaries.
Yung mga kumpanya, ipapatong yung cost yung increase na yan sa produkto nila. Tataas ang bilihin. Pag tumaas ang bilihin, hindi naman exempted yung mga farmers, yung mga tricycle drivers, doon sa presyo na yun. Sabi sila, wala naman sila paghuhugutan.
This statement by ECOP is related to the currently proposed bill in Congress, which seeks to implement a 100 peso across-the-board increase in the daily minimum wage of workers. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House of Representatives is studying the salary hike measure proposed in Congress. According to House Deputy Majority Leader and Iloilo 1st District Representative Janet Garin, the chamber is still weighing whether the pending proposals would be beneficial or detrimental to the economy if approved. This comes after the Senate passed the proposed 100 peso legislated daily minimum wage increase on second reading. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Mr. Jimmy's business is a water station and he employs several workers. If the law to increase wages in the private sector is implemented, he will be compelled to raise the selling price of water.
Buti sana kung nakabayad na kami ng mga utang. Malaki pang babayaran sa utang kasi utang ko pa to eh.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Ruth Abalos runs a food business. If she needs to increase the salaries of her employees, she will be forced to reduce the number of staff.
As a employer, gusto rin namin na tumaas para makatulong din kami sa mga need ng mga employee namin. Pero kung iisipin mo rin yung side namin, lahat nagtataasan. Nagtataasan yung marketing namin, yung mga bilihin, yung mga recipe, nagtataasan ng tax, nagtataasan ng mayor's permit, nagtataasan lahat ng mga government, nag-renewal. So ano pong matitira sa amin?
Malaking bagay po kasi yung na 100 na maidadagdag para po sa amin. Lalo na po ako, single parent po kasi ako.
Yesterday, the proposal for a 100 peso wage increase for private sector workers passed the second reading in the Senate. The plan is to have it approved by the High Chamber of Congress on February 19. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri appealed to the House of Representatives to also pass the proposal promptly. However, in the House of Representatives, similar wage increase proposals are pending at the committee level. According to House Deputy Majority Leader, Iloilo 1st District Representative Janet Garin, Speaker Romualdez has directed to carefully study the wage increase proposal.
Well, the intention is good. The burden is being passed on sa ating MSMEs. So ang tanong natin, ilang mga maliliit na negosyante ang magsasara? Unang tanong nga, ilan ang maliliit na negosyante sa Pilipinas? It's 99%. So ang mangyayari niyan, magbabawas ng empleyado, will it do more harm than good? It's a very popular bill. Kung pamumulitika lang ang iisipin ng Kongreso, sana pinasa na kaagad yan at sinabi, o bahala na ang taong bayan. Pero hindi po ganun ang Kongreso. Tinitingnan natin, doable ba ito o hindi ba doable?
According to Labor Group Kilusang Mayo Uno, it seems that this is not a priority for the House of Representatives. They also plan to approach congressmen to lobby for the proposal to increase wages, and they are calling on the House to conduct a public hearing regarding this matter.
Nagpaplano kami na mag-lobby sa mga congressman sa House, no? Para once and for all, nananawagan din kami kay Committee on Labor sa House, Nograles, na magpatawag siya ng wage hearing para salubungin na itong ano ng Senate na 100 pesos. Kasi ang tingin namin, kung hindi ito sasalubungin ng Kongreso, hindi ito mapapakinabangan ng mga manggagawa.
According to business groups, aside from micro, small, and medium enterprises or SMEs, those in the informal sector, such as farmers, fishermen, vendors, and others, will be more affected. This is because they will bear the brunt of the inflation resulting from the legislated wage increase. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police Intelligence Group and Criminal Investigation and Detection Group have successfully apprehended a key figure believed to be a financial conduit for the Islamic State for Iraq and Syria, or ISIS, in the country. According to PNP CIDG Director Police Major General Romeo Karamat Jr., the suspect, identified as Virna Mabanza, was arrested during a raid in Barangay Pasil in Danan, Sulu earlier this morning. Mabanza is accused of violating anti-terrorism laws and has been declared a global terrorist by the United States Defense Department. Authorities allege that Mabanza, the widow of a Malaysian terrorist with ties to ISIS, played a pivotal role in facilitating the transfer of funds from international financiers to local terrorist leaders, including the notorious Isniron Hapilon, since 2016.
Marami nang dumating sa ating bansa, una $7,000 and then $100,000 US dollars, and then facilitating yung mga pumapasok na armaments dito sa ating bansa, particularly in southern Mindanao.
In response to the arrest, PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda emphasized the significant impact this development will have on disrupting the operations of local terrorist networks within the country. Meanwhile, the Anti-Terrorism Council has commended the efforts of the authorities in apprehending Mabanza, signaling a united front in the ongoing battle against terrorism. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. directed the Philippine National Police or PNP to be more strategic in its procurement of communications equipment to further improve its interoperability, especially in emergency and crisis situations, and intensify its anti-cybercrime efforts. During the first PNP Command Conference, PBBM stressed the need to establish good communication system within police organization. President Marcos told PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. to secure a plan to improve its communications capacity, as the chief executive raised concern about the reported low equipment capacity of the National Police. According to Presidential Communications Office, as of February 14, the PNP is still far from filling up at least half of its requirement for communications equipment. It recorded a 32.5% fill-up for digital radio, 33.98% for tactical radio, and 2.48% for satellite phones. President Marcos also highlighted a troubling statistic where cybercrime cases have surged from 13,890 in 2022 to a staggering 21,300 in 2023. The PNP has put forth a proposal to establish a dedicated cybersecurity center. This center would serve as a centralized hub responsible for monitoring, detecting, protecting, and mitigating cybersecurity issues and incidents within the PNP's ICT infrastructure. A senator is in high hopes that the Senate leadership will soon sign the subpoena against religious leader Apollo Quiboloy, days before a Senate panel resumes its inquiry into his alleged abuses within their organization. This report will tell us why. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Hontiveros has formally asked Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri to approve the subpoena against religious leader Apollo Quiboloy. This as the subpoena remains unreleased due to lack of signature by the Senate chief, since it was issued by the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality last month. In a letter dated February 6, Hontiveros cited the need to compel Quiboloy to appear before the committee to respond to the allegations against him by the witnesses, including human trafficking, sexual and physical abuse, and child sexual exploitation. She also pointed out to Zubiri that the Senate has consistently issued subpoenas to resource persons who failed to attend inquiries without justifiable reason. Hontiveros noted that the religious leader was invited in the first hearing but did not attend.
He didn't actually give me an explanation. Basta may dahilan, pag itinanong niyo sa kanya, mas ipaliliwanag niya. Halos walang paliwanag na kaya kong tanggapin. Presumption of regularity lang na kapag hindi pinaunlakan ang isang imbitasyon, in this case dalawang imbitasyon, ang susunod na hakbang na pwedeng gawin ng komite ay yung subpoena. I don't need to be satisfied or dissatisfied sa paliwanag ni SP. Ang nangingibabaw sa akin ay yung pag-asa na mapipirmahan yung subpoena. Mahaba po ang pasensya ko. So kahit naiinip ako, iintayin ko po yan. At habang naghihintay sa subpoena, itutuloy ang pagdinig ng komite.
Zubiri has yet to comment on the matter. Despite Quiboloy's absence, Hontiveros says the Senate's inquiry into Quiboloy's alleged abuses will push through with a new batch of witnesses. This as the lawmaker reveals tactics from alleged members of Quiboloy's organization Kingdom of Jesus Christ to derail the proceedings.
Ang malala, may ibang mga miyembro ng Kingdom na mukhang inutusan na makipag-ugnayan sa opisina ko para magkunwaring tetestigo tungkol sa mga pang-aabuso ng leader nila. Pero ang totoong pakay pala ay pagmukhang walang kwenta ang hearings ng Senado. Ang kapal, di ba? Iyan ba ang utos ni Quiboloy? Iyan ba ang gawain ng isang anak ng Diyos? Huwag ninyong linlangin ang institusyon ng Senado. Hindi nyo kami basta-basta maloloko. At kay Apollo Quiboloy, dapat managot kayo.
The UNTV News is trying to get a comment from Quiboloy's camp, but he has previously stated that he will not attend the Senate probe and will only answer to courts. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Prabowo Subianto has been elected as the new president of Indonesia, succeeding outgoing President Joko Widodo. At 72 years old, Prabowo Subianto, a former defense minister, emerged victorious in the elections, triumphing over his rivals, former governors Anies Baswedan and Ganjar Pranowo. This victory marks the culmination of Prabowo Subianto's long-standing political career, having previously run for president twice before clinching the presidency this time around. In his moment of triumph, Prabowo Subianto expressed gratitude to all those who supported his candidacy, acknowledging their crucial role in his journey to the presidency. The National Election Agency is set to announce the official results of the election on March 20th, further solidifying the transition of power in Indonesia. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Marvi. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, issued a withdrawal form for those who want to withdraw their signatures from the sheets submitted to their local offices for the People's Initiative for the Amendment of the 1987 Constitution. Dante Amento tells us why.
After a manifestation from Senator Ronald De La Rosa that there are individuals who intend to withdraw their signatures from the signature sheets for People's Initiative submitted to the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, the poll body immediately released a withdrawal form that are available in all COMELEC local offices nationwide.
Yan naman, pwede rin natin maging available sa website ng COMELEC para kung sa palagay nila, kaysa sila ay pumunta pa sa local COMELEC, gusto nilang mag-print na lamang, pwede rin po yun. Yan naman ay isasubmit lang sa atin. At least lang, as far as the COMELEC is concerned, at least nagbigay ka ng intention mo na wini-withdraw mo na yung iyong pirma o lagda.
It states that a certain individual wishes to withdraw his or her signature. It also contains some personal information about the person, such as the name, address, precinct number, barangay, among others. And lastly, he or she would need to sign the form to certify that the information provided is true and accurate. However, Chairman George Erwin Garcia emphasized it does not constitute formal proceedings for the People's Initiative. The processes for PI remain suspended pending review of their rules related with it.
Inuulit ko. Yan ay for record purposes lamang ng komisyon. Sapagkat hanggang sa kasalukuyan, suspended ang proceedings, suspended ang COMELEC Resolution 10650 at hindi yung pamimigay na yan ng form o pagpirma ng mga kababayan natin at pagsasabit sa COMELEC ay pag-resume o pag-lift ng suspension order.
The withdrawal form is allegedly for record purposes. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, and other agencies under the Department of Transportation are in the process of formulating regulations aimed at penalizing electric bike and electric trike drivers who operate on national roads. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, considers reports to electric bike and electric vehicles on national highways an alarming concern. At the press conference earlier today, February 15, MMDA Acting Chairman Don Artes presented the screen grab of viral videos involving alleged violation of e-trike drivers. Among those are the ones seen on South Luzon Expressway, a student driving an e-trike entering a national road, and an e-trike driver in the middle of intersection while waiting for the go signal of the traffic light.
Nakakabahala ito dahil unang-una nga, gumagamit ito ng lansangan, hindi lamang naman barangay road. Makikita natin marami nagba-viral. In fact, meron nga isa nasa SLEX mismo.
However, MMDA raised their concern that it becomes challenging for them to apprehend e-bike or e-trike driver on national road as they don't carry legal driver's license and their vehicles are not registered.
Meron kaming difficulty enforcing dahil nga pag hinuli namin tas walang lisensya, kanino namin i-issue yung ticket? In the same manner, hindi po registered ito. So, hindi rin namin pwede issuehan ng ticket yung e-bike mismo or e-trike.
Earlier, MMDA, Land Transportation Office, Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, and the Department of Transportation convened to discuss this pressing road issue. According to MMDA, they already outlined a regulations for e-bike and e-trike which is intended to harmonize existing rules and regulations implemented by local government units in Metro Manila. This will be presented to the meeting of Metro Manila Council this month. Furthermore, on a wider scale, the LTO said they have already prepared their recommendation which will be submitted to the DOTR with regards to the revision to the regulations for e-bike and e-trike. LTO Chief Assistant Secretary Vigor Mendoza believes that the traffic code based on Republic Act 4136 and the Evida law should be amended to be reconciled.
Tama po kayo, no? Baka kailangan i-synchronize, so that's what we're trying to do now. Trying to synchronize the laws, pero kung talagang hindi pwede, then probably a new law would be necessary to clarify the difference.
Based on the proposed regulations, the LTO said they plan to require registration and driver's license to e-bike and e-trike to penalize those erring users. It may include an impounding of their e-vehicles. On the existing guidelines, e-vehicles which runs less than 25 kilometers per hour don't need registration and the driver is not required to have a driver's license. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, reassured on Thursday, February 15, to families grappling with the impacts of El Nino that the agency stands ready to provide assistance to help them cope with its effects. According to DSWD Undersecretary for Disaster Response Management Group, Diana Rose Cahipe, the department is committed to ensuring food security by pre-positioning family food packs in affected localities. Additionally, Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez highlighted the collaborative efforts between the DSWD, the Department of Agriculture, and the United Nations World Food Program, or UNWFP, in implementing Project Lawa, or local adaptation to water access in selected municipalities across Ifugao, Antique, and Compostela in Davao de Oro provinces. Project Lawa aims to alleviate the impacts of drought and dry spells caused by El Nino by establishing 90 small farm reservoirs in the designated provinces.
Doon sa Project Lawa po, kasi magdodwell na ako sa specifics, basta ito community-based, i-engage namin yung pre-identified na mga lugar na nakikita nating susceptible sa epekto ng El Nino at sila po yung ating i-engage to mobilize, sila yung magko-construct ng facility at sila po yung makakatanggap ng sweldo through cash for work.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, has taken legal action by filing criminal cases before the Regional Trial Court and Metropolitan Trial Court of Quezon City against two corporations allegedly involved in the illicit activity of selling fake receipts. Jed Nedesina will tell us why.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, found probable cause after preliminary investigation that two corporations committed crimes against proper tax paying. Decarich Supertrade Incorporated and Reddington Corporation will face criminal cases before courts for selling ghost or fake receipts.
Ito yung again parte ng unang batch na sinampahan natin ng kaso, kaya naman natutuwa kami na ang DOJ ay kaakibat din namin sa pagsugpo ng mga laban dito sa sindikato nagbebenta at bumibili ng mga peking resibo.
BIR Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. added that the corporate officers and accountants of the mentioned corporations will also face the criminal information filed. He said the government lose billions of taxes due to such illegal activities. That is why the BIR has been continually coordinating with the DOJ and filing cases against violators who are not paying proper taxes.
Kasi sa dinami-dami ng korporasyon na nagbebenta at sa dinami-dami ng korporasyon na bumibili ng mga peking resibo ay mahigit pa sa 18 billion ang nawawala dito. Mahigit yan 50 or baka umabot pa ng 100 billion ang nawawala dito.
BIR also filed a criminal case against a cosmetic company which, according to Lumagi Jr., was buying and using fake receipts.
Nakita po natin na isa po sila sa bumibili ng mga peking resibo at ang tax liability na nakikita po dyan sa isang korporasyon pa lang na yan ay 1.6 billion.
The BIR emphasized how heavy the possible penalties to those who will be caught violating the law related to the payment of taxes. In addition to imprisonment, they still need to pay the appropriate taxes, including fines and interest.
Ang panawagan nga natin, kung sakasakaling kayo ay hindi pa napapadala ng sulat, ay makakaasa kayo na mahuhuli rin natin kayo dahil it's just a matter of time.
There is still no response from the corporations who have been charged by the BIR. Commissioner Lumagi Jr. clarified that these steps are set to protect legitimate businessmen or people who pay proper taxes because they are also affected by such illegal practices or business. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
While the investigation of the forest fire in Baguio City is still ongoing, the Bureau of Fire Protection says old electrical wiring might be the possible cause of the incident. Gladys Tuabi details why.
In Baguio City's Camp John Hay area, authorities are grappling with the aftermath of a destructive forest fire. The Bureau of Fire Protection is on the ground working tirelessly to assess the full extent of the damage inflicted by the incident. As investigators delve into the root cause of the blaze, early indications point to aging electrical wiring as a potential culprit. However, a conclusive determination remains pending as officials meticulously comb through the evidence.
So ang tinitignan natin ngayon is yung electrical wirings na old wirings na naka-install doon ngayon na possible na magkaroon ng spark dahil kumikiskis siya doon sa mga puno.
While the flames have been brought under control, the BFP remains vigilant, maintaining a watchful presence to prevent any potential flare-ups.
Yung sa sunog natin sa Camp John Hay, controlled naman siya. So, nagkakaroon lang tayo ng mga overhauling doon sa mga small fire doon sa gilid-gilid so para hindi siya kumalat.
Measures such as backfire attacks and establishing fire lanes are being diligently implemented to mitigate the risk of further devastation.
Nagkaroon tayo ng strategy na katulad ng starving or depriving yung fire para wala na siyang pupuntahan na iba pang masusunog. So tatanggalin natin yung mga possible na masunog like dry leaves and branches. So
this incident, reported last Sunday, February 11, prompted swift response from firefighting teams. By 8 a.m., the situation was declared under control, with the flames fully extinguished by 10 a.m. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In a recent advisory, the Department of Public Works and Highways, Cordillera Administrative Region or DPWH CAR, announced partial closure of Cannon Road in Benguet Province starting February 19th. This measure aims to facilitate repairs on sections of the road, a major thoroughfare frequently used by motorists traveling to various parts of northern Luzon. Following recommendations from DPWH CAR and approval from the Metropolitan Baguio City, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, Tublay Council Chairperson and Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, the partial closure of Cannon Road is deemed necessary to ensure the effective execution of ongoing repairs near Camp 6, Tuba, Benguet, and to uphold public safety. The DPWH advised motorists to utilize alternate routes during the partial closure. Southbound non-residents heading towards Rosario, La Union are encouraged to use the temporary route along Buwad River. Northbound non-residents traveling towards Baguio City can opt for Marcos Highway, while Cannon Road will remain accessible to northbound and southbound residents. The DPWH emphasized the importance for southbound residents to utilize the designated temporary routes. Next month, the Philippine Army is gearing up for its largest combined training exercise yet in celebration of its 127th anniversary. This expansive exercise aims to evaluate the effectiveness of the Philippine Army in addressing the major threats confronting the nation. With a keen focus on external threats defense, the Army is poised to demonstrate its readiness and capabilities in safeguarding the country's sovereignty.
This exercise will make us realize our capabilities and the gaps that we may be able to face, because it's only through simulating scenarios that we will be able to understand the gaps that we would be experiencing.
This exercise is designed to test and hone the determination of the Philippine Army in ensuring its combat readiness and adaptability. Additionally, it functions as a formidable demonstration of the Army's capabilities and unwavering resolve. This exercise not only contributes to the development of the Army, but to underscore the organization's pivotal role in safeguarding the integrity and strength of the Republic it serves.
An estimated 4,000 to 5,000 Army personnel are expected to participate in this comprehensive training, which will encompass various scenarios and simulations.
You'll see this is the more challenging aspect in the area of defense, really sustainment. How do we feed the 4,000 people? How do we supply them? How do we sustain them? This exercise or this undertaking has never been experienced by the Philippine Army, because we got used to dealing internal threats that we can easily sustain small units.
And in other global news, a shooting incident was reported in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, killing 1 and injuring 21 at an outdoor victory party of the recent Super Bowl NFL Champion Chiefs celebration. Paul Gatchalian details why.
Police Chief Stacey Graves announced that 3 people were detained and under investigation for a shooting near Kansas City's Union Station after the NFL Chiefs outdoor victory parade. The incident left at least 21 people injured, including 11 children as young as 6. One person died, identified as Liza Lopez. Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas highlighted the challenge of securing public events due to the prevalence of gun violence in the United States, with the exact motive for the shooting unknown, and authorities were still assessing the extent of casualties.
I was inside of Union Station. We heard something. A number of us start running, and I see a stream of officers going the exact other direction. In, with guns drawn, ready to address danger. And that was the situation throughout. People who responded absolutely immediately.
Several chief players and staff attending the rally were confirmed safe. The incident occurred at the end of a victory rally following the Chiefs' Super Bowl win. Video footage showed chaos and police responding to the scene.
That is still under investigation. I myself was outside when I heard the shots fired. It is an ongoing investigation. It's going to take us a little bit to determine exactly what led up to the shooting.
The Union Station, a historic landmark, was the backdrop for the victory celebration. The Missouri Governor Mike Parson and Kansas Governor Laura Kelly were present at the event and were reported to be unharmed in the incident. President Joe Biden called again for tougher gun control measures in response to the shooting. The incident coincidentally happened with the 6th anniversary of the Parkland school shooting in 2018, where 17 people were killed and 17 people were injured in a shooting. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Russian President Vladimir Putin announced on Wednesday, February 14, that the country is very close to creating vaccines for cancer. Putin added that their new vaccine could be available to patients soon and claims that it has the potential to revolutionize the medical field once again, as they have with Sputnik V, the first COVID-19 vaccine. However, Putin did not specify which type of cancers the vaccine would cure. Meanwhile, several countries are also in the stage of developing their own cancer vaccines, with a study conducted by pharmaceutical companies Moderna and Merck & Co. showed that their experimental vaccines reduced the chances of recurrence or death by melanoma by up to 50% after 3 years of treatment. The United Kingdom has also partnered with German pharmaceutical company BioNTech to launch clinical trials for personalized cancer vaccines until 2030. Despite this, only 6 vaccines are currently licensed and approved by the World Health Organization. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia. Good evening.
In a riveting conclusion to the second round eliminations held at the Novodevichy Convention Center in Quezon City yesterday, February 14, all 8 teams set to advance to the next round of UNTV Cup Season 10 have been determined. A historic triumph unfolded as the Department of Agriculture Food Masters secured their spot in the semifinals for the first time since joining the League of Public Servants. Their hard-fought victory over the Ombudsman Graft Busters culminated in a resounding score of 101 to 84.
In a riveting conclusion to the second round eliminations held at the Novodevichy Convention Center in Quezon City yesterday, February 14, all 8 teams set to advance to the next round of UNTV Cup Season 10 have been determined. A historic triumph unfolded as the Department of Agriculture Food Masters secured their spot in the semifinals for the first time since joining the League of Public Servants. Their hard-fought victory over the Ombudsman Graft Busters culminated in a resounding score of 101 to 84. The Food Masters showcased unwavering determination, solidifying their status as one of the dark horse contenders in this season's lineup.
Well, compare mo sa last 2 games na talo kami, much more aggressive kami, lalo sa first quarter. Kasi yung last 2 games na talo kami, talagang very slow start kami. So at least ngayon, makita mo naman, maganda yung intensity ng players. Yung hard work sa defense. May mga players kami na-contain kahit paano.
According to the Ombudsman's coach, while their meticulously prepared game plan was followed, the Food Masters had players who stepped up unexpectedly, catching them off guard.
Nasunod naman lahat, kaya lang talaga meron din silang counter game plan, ano? So, hindi kami masyado nakaklose sa mga shooters nila. Actually, naka-zero in kami kay Guzman pero si Ko, Tomira, si Mariano, halos almost perfect sa perimeter. So yun ang hindi namin masyadong minatsapan ng maigi. Kaya malaking bagay yun.
Notably, Sean Ko's stellar performance, tallying an impressive 25 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, along with remarkable defensive contributions, earned him the title of Best Player of the Game. J. Mark Mariano also played a pivotal role with 16 points and 5 rebounds. Elijan de Guzman contributed 24 points, while Marlon Calao added 12 points to bolster the Food Masters offense. On the Ombudsman's side, Aldous Paz led the charge with 24 points, supported by Paul Ladia with 15 points, Bamba Florino with 14 points, and Israel de la Cruz with 10 points. Despite their outstanding performance in the eliminations, the Food Masters remain humble, refusing to become overconfident.
Una-una, very thankful ako. Thank God, nanalo kami pang outright semifinals, no? Hindi namin iniisip sinasabing record na ang DA first time pumasok. Kami, we take one game at a time. Kailangan lang namin manalo every game. Doon lang kami habang nag-i-enjoy maglaro.
Conversely, the Ombudsman team is hungrier than ever for victory.
Quarterfinals na. So, maghahabol kami ng panalo. At si Ombudsman, laging aasahan nila na from now on, laging palaban ng team na to.
Joining the Department of Agriculture Food Masters in the semi-finals will be the SSS Kabalikat, while other teams await the results of the quarter-finals. With 1 month to prepare, these teams will be eagerly awaiting the outcome of the clashes between the AFP Cavaliers, NHA Home Masters, DENR Warriors, Senate Defenders, Ombudsman Graft Busters, and GSIS Furies in the single round-robin quarter-finals. Meanwhile, the game between the Malacanang Team OPPMS Trailblazers and the PNP Responders, despite being labeled as non-bearing, still delivered an electrifying spectacle. Despite numerous deadlocks, both teams displayed unwavering determination, seeking to end the league with a victory. Ultimately, the Malacanang team emerged triumphant with a final score of 102-97. The best players of the game were RL Cartel, who amassed 21 points, 6 rebounds, and a crucial block, and Robert Faundo, who collected 28 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals for the Malacanang Team OPPMS Trailblazers. 3 more players from the Trailblazers contributed double-digit points. John Kenneth Aljard with 18 points and Alvin Katipon and Chris Delaten with 12 points each. Despite not advancing to the quarterfinals, both the OPPMS and PNP expressed gratitude for the opportunity to participate in the unique League of Public Servants.
Kuya Daniel, thank you dito sa opportunity na binigay niyo sa amin na makapaglaro sa UNTV Cup Season 10. Ito yung nakapaglaro ka na ng gusto mo, tapos nakakatulong ka pa dun sa mga beneficiary mo. Sa OPPMS, thank you sa lahat ng support from management.
Suportahan niyo po ang UNTV Cup, charity, sports and charity, napakagandang liga na naglalaro ka na, nakakatulong ka pa.
The quarterfinals are set to commence on Sunday, February 18 at the Nova Desi Convention Center in Quezon City. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 21, it says, "He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor." And those are the reasons behind the news, February 15, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.